What is the scariest trust your gut feeling you felt before and glad you did so? When I was a teen, I'd make a few bucks helping a local farmer bale hay. The hay would be stacked on a trailer and towed by a tractor to the barn. I usually sat on the front of the trailer on the way to the barn, but I suddenly felt like that wasn't a good place to be, and I moved to the back. As soon as I did, I hear a clang. The hitch had come loose from the tractor while heading down a steep hill. I climbed down the back and easily stepped off, moments before the trailer flipped over into a ravine. I was once walking down a street at night and randomly thought to myself, yikes, I'm going to get mugged. I ignored the feeling. Got mugged. In high school, my best friend and I were hanging out and drinking with this group of a few guys that we had known for a while. When it was time for us to go home for curfew, they told us they would walk with us. The fastest way was across a creek bed and down under an overpass, and we had gone that way a million times before. I had a really bad feeling about walking that way that night. I had brand new white shoes on, so I used that as my reason for wanting to walk the long way on public streets. My friend was annoyed and the guys got mad and told us to walk by ourselves. A few months later, 3 of those guys were arrested for assaulting a girl when she got drunk with them. I don't know if anything really would have happened that night, but I do remember being really scared for no apparent reason. Not me, my grandfather. He used to never wear his seatbelt. One day he's driving around with my mom and suddenly remarks, "I feel like I'm about to go through the windshield," and buckles in. Less than 30 seconds later, as they're going through an intersection, a car blows the red light going like 40 miles per hour and slams into my grandpa's side of the car. He walked away with nothing worse than some fractured ribs, and now he's always wears a seatbelt. Shouting at my daft brother-in-law to get out of the sea. He's a fit, strong, confident swimmer, but he had his young daughter on his shoulders, and my gut was telling me that the waves were just too rough to be safe. They were both fine, but after we all returned home, we heard that another strong, confident swimmer died in exactly the same place about a half an hour later. Not me, but my daughters. We were at a mall and had just arrived at the food court. My daughter, 24, suddenly got agitated and said, "We have to leave. We have to leave now." I thought she was about to get sick and told her to head to the car, that I was going to get her siblings some lunch and that we'd be right out. She looked terrified and said, "No, we have to go now." I had no idea what was wrong, but we quickly went to the car. We were still in the parking lot 10 minutes later, waiting in traffic, when several police cars zoomed in with sirens going. Found out later a gang fight broke out in the food court where we'd just been. A dozen people were arrested. We have absolutely no idea what she picked up on. There was no yelling or angry voices, no groups gathering, no people who appeared to be anything but families getting lunch. But somehow she knew something was about to happen.